what do you want? You know, like what do you want, and what the is stopping you from going out and getting it? All right, welcome back to How to Invest in Commercial Real Estate. And today we've got a fun topic. Joel, what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about what the is holding you back.
What do you think the problem is? Why are people not able to do what we tell them to do each week in commercial real estate and achieve all their life's ambitions? Are they not making their life ambition? Are they not setting goals?
It really could be anything. Like it doesn't have to be commercial real estate, but like what do you want? You know, like what do you want, and what the is stopping you from going out and getting it? I mean, it's just.
I think that's a good point. For me, it was the first step was deciding what you want out of life. I liked it when I was listening to a podcast by Grant Cardone, and he made the comment. He's like, there are those people that get everything they want out of life, and then there's everybody else.
Yeah, that's good.
And it really hit me, and that's really true. There are people that take action and that get what they want, and then there's everybody else that's sitting around not getting whatever it is that they want, and they may not even know what they want.
Yeah.
Step one is deciding what the you want out of this life.
Yeah.
And if you don't know that, then you don't know where to go with any decisions, any energy, where to invest your money. So step number one is just deciding what you want out of life.
Yeah.
Yeah. And say you don't know what you want out of life. Go to a buffet, you know, and try out some things and go all into something for a little period of time and decide, hey, do I want this? Give it 200%. And then say, okay, no, that's not for me. I want something else. And then go do it. Go do it.
Well, a key barrier to people trying to decide what they want that we want to talk about is fear of failure.
Yeah.
When you go to decide what you want out of life, the first thing you're going to encounter is the fear of failing. And so you're going to, well, do I really want that out of life?
Yeah.
I don't know. That may be too much. And so really that's a key too, is battling that fear. That would be something I would say the reason you don't have what you want out of life is because you're afraid of failure.
Yeah, I agree with that. People are afraid of failing themselves, but then they're also afraid about going to their friends and family and coworkers and saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go try this. And then if they fail at it, then they're afraid, oh, well, all these people knew that I failed.
Well, and those people are jerks too. You know, hey, I want to start a podcast. Oh, that's a horrible idea. What are you going to do with podcasts? Like, I don't know. I want one.
Yeah.
Like you need to be
Sounds
around
fun.
people that are encouraging you. You know, it couldn't even be internal pressure. You know, maybe you actually believe you can do it, but your wife and your mom or your dad or your boss or everyone around you and your friends are like, yeah, I mean, that's hard. I don't know. Man, that's a big one.
Okay, so here's one that's holding you back. If you're listening to this, look around at all of the people that you hang out with. If they don't have what you want out of life, you got to make some changes immediately.
Yeah.
Right? If you're hanging out with a bunch of people that don't have what you want to have in life, then you're not going to move towards your goal. Not that you have to get rid of all those people.
Yeah.
But you got to selectively choose people that are going in the same direction that you are. You'll synergize off of that. You'll encourage each other. They'll have information and contacts and knowledge that you need. And so if all of your buddies are playing video games till 10 o'clock, you have to get new friends immediately.
What's that saying that you're the average of your 5 closest friends, or you're the 5 people closest to you? You're the average of those 5 people.
Yeah,
I believe that.
It's for everything. It's not just material things. You know, it's not just I want to be friends with the people who drive the kind of car I want to drive. I mean, that may help you get that kind of car if you want it, but it may just be, you know, I want to be around happier people. I want to be around people who are this way with their kids. I want to be around people that have kids. You know, for me, it's hard to relate with people sometimes that don't have kids. You know, it's hard to be really intricate family friends if they don't have children.
Yeah, you want to spend more time with your kids. It's not hanging out with your single buddies.
Exactly.
Late down on the weekends.
Yeah.
It's getting with other dads that really enjoy good family time. That's a simple little goal.
Yeah.
Well, so
you said another one there at the end is time. I mean, going back to family, who has enough time to do anything? I don't have time for anything. I hear it from everyone. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, I don't have time. I'm busy.
Yeah. So let's put that in a category of lies that people tell themselves. And one of them is, I don't have time to do this. I don't have time to invest. I don't have time to learn real estate. It doesn't have to be that. It could start another business. I don't have time. That's a lie that you tell yourself. And that's holding you back from becoming the person you want to be or having what you want to have.
Yeah. Well, really, none of us, we all were at full-time jobs when we started commercial real estate on the side. So, I mean, I was full-time employee. Joel was. You were in commercial real estate, but you were still working full-time.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you will have enough time for everything you want to have enough time for. It's just as simple as that, man. You're going to use the 24 hours, whether or not like you tell them what to do, they're gone.
You might have to get up early and you might have to stay up late.
Yeah, good point. So let me think about this. I mean, if you have a day job, you're probably dedicating 10 hours a day to that job.
Between driving,
for at
lunch,
least 5 days a week. And you're probably sleeping at least 7 hours a day. And so that's 17. Now we've got 7 hours left. But if you think about, dinner and breakfast and things, that's another 2 hours. So you literally have 4 or 5 hours.
Which is probably okay.
And I promise you, through experience, that 4 or 5 hours will absolutely change your life. But you've got to be dedicated and committed to carving out a little bit of time every day to move you in the direction that you need. Which, going back, you got to decide what direction that is. You got to decide what you want out of life, and then how you're going to get what you want out of life, what other vehicle you're going to use, and then it's deciding, okay, 2 or 3 hours a day, I'm going to do something that moves me towards that goal.
Yeah, I think an amazing example of that, and something I think the three of us can relate to, is kind of the want to write a book or document something down, teach people something and put it in a book. And that's a cool thing, to write a book. And the hardest part about writing a book, if you talk to anyone who's ever written one, is writing the book.
Sitting down and doing it.
Step 1 through 10 is sit down and write the book, and then rewrite it, and then reread it, and then rewrite it, and then reread it. And it's just sitting down and dedicating the time and writing the book. Books aren't written by accident unless you pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't have any money. I don't have enough money.
Yeah. So there's another lie. I don't have enough money to start any business.
That is a lie. You do not need money to be successful in both real estate, regular real estate, commercial real estate.
Yeah. You just need tons and tons of opium.
Okay.
Other people's money.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I started this whole deal, Precision Equity, with my business partner. But before I had a business partner, I had $2,000 in my bank account, and I had some cassettes that I was listening to.
Oh my gosh.
And I was working full time, 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week. And I just willed it to happen. But I just bought a really small house, but I was just getting in the game. And I would tell to people, what is it going to take for you to get in the game?
What started that? Was it like Rich Dad Poor Dad and I want to be in real estate? So then it's just like, well,
yeah, it was some CDs by Rich Dad Poor Dad, and then it was a couple other guys that I just started listening to, more and more mentors, encouraging myself. They were my encouragers. Nobody in my life had any information, knowledge, or money. So those books and those CDs, every day listening to those they were motivating me and encouraging me to take that step, take action. Don't be afraid of failure. You're going to file bankruptcy. Don't worry about it. You're going to learn through it. They were all just keeping me going. But yeah, I just got in the game. I took the $2,000 and I put 10% down on a $20,000 house. That was my first one. That's not going to be the quickest path or the best path, but I have tons of friends that have watched me go from making, $45,000 a year to doing what we're doing. And, they always tell me, man, I got to get into it. Man, I'm looking to get into it. Man, I wish I could have gotten into it. They can, but they, for whatever limiting reason, they're not in the game quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be discouraging to anybody that's done that and they're wanting to get in, but I want it to be encouraging that the opportunity is still available for them.
Yeah. I'm going to put my dad on blast. He's one of those guys. He's just kind of a busy guy. And every time we launch a deal, he wants to be in it. He's got the means to be in it. He should be in it with his age. I mean, just everything about it. He needs to be in it, but I'm not going to beg him. You know what I mean? I don't need to beg him. And we fill up the deal every time. And it's like a shocked conversation of like, oh man, I didn't have time to get in there. It's like, well, we'll just get in the next one. You just got to make the time to do it. And finally, it was literally just, hey, I'm in for $25,000. Just force me in. I'm not going to make time. Just do it.
I like it.
It was literally just the decision of like, man, I've missed so many. If I don't just get in, I'm going to miss one. And so many people say that.
All right. So what's another thing that's holding people back?
I think a big one for most people is you don't know what you don't know. And you don't know.
Lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge.
Yeah, lack of knowledge and thinking things are possible and the vision to be able to put it together and the will to be able to show up and put that vision and plan and accumulated knowledge into something that's amazing that gets you what you want. you know, it's hard. It may not be easy, but you've got to be able to go out and paint this vision because you know what you want so clear. You know what time you want to wake up, what you want to do after, when you want to eat breakfast, where you want to eat breakfast. You should be able to envision that in your head of, I want to wake up at this time and get fresh squeezed orange juice and, you know, do all these things, maybe, you know, whatever. But you've got to be able to articulate that or else how do you expect it to happen?
Well, and people are always waiting for, I need a little bit more knowledge. I need a little bit more knowledge. The truth is that you're never going to feel like you have enough knowledge. I don't feel that way. And I've been doing this a long time. I always feel insecure. I always feel like I'm lacking some expertise, market knowledge on what's going to happen 2 years from now. What's retail going to be like? What are interest rates going to be like? Is the market going to crash? So you're never going to have all the information. And that needs to not be a limiting factor in you taking action. You've got to just try to do it.
Yeah, well, you're never going to have enough knowledge. The best knowledge is actually pulling the trigger and doing it because that's going to force you to learn, right? Because you've got all these decisions to make, and you're going to have to do it. If you don't do it, you're not going to gain the knowledge because you're not going to be forced to.
I used to try to get myself into situations knowing that I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but I knew once I got in, it would just force me to take actions and learn.
It's huge.
And
it's so big, man.
So just forcing your way in and know that you're capable. You're fully capable of figuring it out and learning whatever you don't know through that process. And be more afraid of being average than being a failure.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Right? So many people never achieve what they could achieve in this life because they're just so afraid of failing. And I say, be more afraid of doing nothing. Be more afraid of regret and be more afraid of being average than the alternative. And I'll kind of segue that into the vision. You have to be able to see the vision of what you want out of life because that's going to motivate you when you don't have the energy and you don't have the time.
Yeah, the
why. And so I spent a lot of time early on when I didn't love going to my day job every day. And I kept thinking there's more to this. You know, I work until 6, 7 every night, getting up and being at the office at 6. There's more to a paycheck where I lose 30% in taxes. And I wanted to live a life that money didn't matter. I could do whatever I want. I could be as generous as I want. I knew that existed. And so setting that vision and thinking on that is what drove me in the hard times and pushed me out of my comfort zone to do things that I wouldn't have normally done.
Yeah, by having that vision, you had a motivation to continue on.
So what is your vision? When you're listening to this, what is your vision? Where do you want to, what do you see yourself in 10 years? What, if you had to envision where you wanted to be, like the ultimate life, what you're doing, what kind of vacations are you taking? How much time are you spending with your family? Try to allow yourself to think about that because real estate can absolutely be the avenue, the vehicle that takes you to that vision.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the famous Warren Buffett quote that says, you know, you can overestimate what you can do in a year or accomplish in a year, but you'll way underestimate what you can accomplish in 10. And it's just the compounding nature of goals. When you wake up and you force yourself to see it via some sort of vision board or some sort of, you know, daily thing that you do saying, I am going to take this step to get me towards that goal. You know, I mean, it's just as clear as that. And if you work on that for 10 years, I mean, 365 days a year, you're talking about thousands of days of making daily progress towards that. How can you not make some pretty amazing progress? You have to.
It definitely is exponential. And I'll give an example of why I think that concept is true. When I first started, I was 23, 24, and we had a couple of quick successes flipping homes. And man, I just thought, I'm going to have several $100,000 from real estate and I'm going to be able to quit my job by the time I'm 30, you know, and in my mind, I'd be making, you know, $100,000, let's say, in real estate. Well, I didn't do any of those things. We hit some hiccups, but then fast forward 10, 15 years. Now, we have $150 million under management now, which is way bigger than I thought. We're growing at a faster pace. We're going to be several $100 million under management. I never had that in my thought process. But I underestimated where I'd be in a year, 2 years, 5 years. Overestimated. I was way ahead of myself then, but I way underestimated where I am today because of the exponential growth that you can achieve through real estate. So
it's huge. I mean, that's huge.
Well, I don't know. Hopefully we motivate. If we don't, we're sorry, but we do want people to to set goals and make a vision, find out what the fuck is holding them back, and go for it, man.
Yeah.
We only get one shot at this.
Yeah.
And even if you don't ever achieve what you want to achieve, the journey will be so much better when you're living without regret and you're moving towards your goals.
Yeah, and you're getting what you want, whatever that is. And it's just better. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Until next time, I'm How to Invest in Commercial Real Estate. Thanks.